Hi and welcome back. This video is going to be part of the continuing series on distilled water and water distillers. So today I just wanted to discuss distilled water. The reason why is that I have been distilling water for a number of years. It goes back to, I want to say, January of 2011. I have been distilling my own water, and I have been using a Mega Home countertop water distiller. And I first was introduced to distilling water by my sister, who had breast cancer at the time, and she was following an holistic approach to try to treat her cancer, and part of her protocol involved consuming distilled water. Now, distilled water and purified water, those terms can be interchangeable. I don't know if they are at all times, but generally speaking, purified water and distilled water can be the same. I guess it just depends on who's manufacturing the water, if it's a company. So she introduced me to distilling water. She had a Mega Home countertop water distiller that she kept on her dryer in her laundry room, similar to how I distill my water today, which is I have it in the laundry room as well. And it's been a great water distiller. I am on my second Mega Home water distiller. So I inherited my sister's water distiller, and I had it for, gosh, probably close to, it was probably about 10 years old by the time it started having some issues. And I left it with a friend of mine, and he called the manufacturer, told them what was going on with it, and he ordered parts for it, and he's got it working to this day. So it has gone on well past the 10-year mark. And Mega Home's been around for a long time. I think they've been around for at least 20 years, and the two water distillers that I have used from them have been terrific. Haven't had a problem at all. But getting back to distilled water, I like it because it tastes clean and fresh, and I know that it is free from impurities and does not need to be treated in order to be consumed. Now, municipal water or city water, generally speaking, is treated for impurities, chemicals, other hazardous compounds, anything that might just happen to be in the water. And cities tend to collect water from different sources, and some of those are, I'm trying to remember now, large lakes, rivers, reservoirs, and large wells. That's primarily where city water originates, and then it is contained, and then it is treated, and it's treated to remove at least 90%, if not more, of the contaminants that can be harmful to humans and or animals for consumption. So all of this is regulated by the Environmental Protection Agency, or the EPA, and it is up to them to make sure that the water is tested and that it meets the testing requirements before it is pumped out into the public, into your home, into your office space, work, wherever it may happen to be. So I choose to distill my water because I don't trust city water. I don't like the way that it tastes. And so my water distiller removes chlorine, it removes a number of other compounds and other contaminants, fluoride, that I do not want to ingest. I don't want those things in my body, and I just want distilled water. So I use my water distiller to distill a gallon of water at a time, and it takes 5.5 to 6 hours to produce 1 gallon of water. And then once that has been distilled, it is quite warm after the distillation process. And so once it cools enough for me to handle it, I will remineralize it with minerals that I purchase, usually from Amazon. And it just flavors the water, it enhances it, it gets it back to a more natural state without having it been treated by some facility with people that I don't know. And I just don't trust it. I don't trust it. I don't want that in my body. So that's why I trust the distillation process that I use. So in addition, I really enjoy the taste of distilled water, and it is, it really should, little bug flying around, it really should be distilled and then remineralized. There is a little bit of a dispute going on even still today about whether one should just drink and consume distilled water versus water that has been mineralized. And it's my understanding that although like well water that's coming up out of the ground naturally has natural minerals in it, it's pulling it from the ground, it's pulling it from the earth, and it's already in the water. So I have had natural spring water, natural well water, all of that is wonderful. And I have had well water out of Michigan, like straight up through the well, and it was super cold and it was delicious. It was fantastic. And that's wonderful and fine if you have it and you are you have access to it. Now, when I was a kid, we had well water too. Being from New England, we had a well and the water was great. But now that I'm older and I'm on my own, I prefer to take control of that situation of my consumable water, and I like to distill it and then mineralize it. Purified water, distilled water that you can purchase in a supermarket, many times that'll be in a plastic gallon container, and the purpose for it that I see most frequently is for cleansing purposes. That which would be something like someone who has a CPAP machine, and many of those necessitate being cleaned or rinsed with distilled water or purified water, depends on the terminology and whatever the company is that has packaged the water, what are they referring to it as. Nestle Pure Life, I want to say that is also a purified water. Now, whether Nestle purifies it and it's purified water, meaning distilled water, or is it purified and they have added minerals to it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So I have notes, so I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Now, as far as like the water coming into your home, that the municipal water, the city water, all of this is generally safe, but it is used mostly for cleaning, cooking, watering plants. That is the general purpose of the water that is coming out of your tap at home, in your bathroom, in your kitchen sink, in your shower or tub, perhaps in the toilet, what have you. That water is used primarily for those purposes, and that's what its intent is in terms of what your city is expecting you to do with that water. Now, some people will drink it, and I guess that's fine. I would not drink it, and especially where I'm living right now in Tennessee. Our water is heavily chlorinated, and most cities and municipalities will admit to fluoridating the water, meaning they have added fluoride to the water. Fluoride on its own, in the bodies of water that I mentioned earlier, like lakes, reservoirs, it is sort of a trace amount that is in that free water. However, cities and municipalities will add fluoride to the water, and for my own personal reasons, and I may expound on this in another video, I am not interested in consuming water that has fluoride in it. I'm just not. Now, chlorine, like I said, in the city that I'm living in Tennessee, I'm living in an area that people expect quite a bit. This area has its own fair share of wealth, and this town and the city do everything that they can to keep everything just right. And part of that is making sure that the water supply is A+. Well, it's so A+ that there are mornings when I turn the tap on in the kitchen to do some dishes or wash my hands or whatever it might be, and I am hit with just it's almost like an invisible plume of chlorine, and it is strong. It's like being outside and your pool guy just left after dumping 3 gallons of, or 3 containers of chlorine in your pool. It's just like in the air, just around me. I'm thinking, wow, that's a lot of chlorine. And the reason why they add chlorine is because it does remove the contaminants. It kills the contaminants. It cleanses the water enough. It gets the water into a condition where you can use it in your home, because natural water found out in the open space does have its own contaminants, whether we as humans ended up depositing those there, they developed there, or somebody dumped something in the water supply. Chlorine apparently is safe to use at a certain level in order to make the water safe enough to be consumed. So that's part of the other reason why I like to distill water. And then, of course, the other thing too is when you see people lugging these heavy 24 and 32 pack plastic encased water bottles, like usually like a 12-ounce bottle or a 16.9 ounce bottle of water, lugging it off the shelf into the car and then out to the car and then back home again. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that at all. I have glass bottles, and being from Florida, I've had to deal with preparing for hurricanes and other storms and different situations. And even here in Tennessee last year, it snowed. It was a mild winter, so there wasn't much snow. But up here, everything shuts down. As soon as they hear snow is coming, everything is closed, and the stores get hit like it's a holiday or like there's a hurricane coming. So I don't have to worry. That is one expense that I don't have to contend with, because I can make as much water as I want, and I always have back stock. Always. I always have gallons and half gallons of water available, so that I never have to worry about running out of water. So there are a number of benefits to distilling your own water, whether it's for health benefits or you just don't want to drink what's coming out of your tap, you don't trust it, you don't trust your city, whatever your reasoning may be. I understand that, and I think that it's important, especially with water, where that is the one beverage that's, for the most part, natural, and it keeps us hydrated. Nothing will hydrate you better than water. And unfortunately, you know, even what's coming out of your tap now is so adulterated. It's lucky it's water still, with everything that's been added to it. So I think I'm almost at the end here. I could always make another part to this if I can think of anything else to add, but I think taking control over the water that you consume is important. The water distiller is a great investment. It's not that expensive to purchase. There are 3 associated costs that come with it, and I will make another video and go into a little more depth about what those costs are, and talk a little bit more about the particular water distiller that I have, and I will be sharing some more information with you. But I wanted to just talk briefly today about tap water, city water, chlorine, fluoride, and anything else that a treatment facility may use to cleanse that water. I'm not trusting, and I'm not interested in what they're using to keep that water clean. So I think that's about it. I'm gonna zip it, and stay tuned for another video. If you like this video, give the thumbs up, share it with somebody that you might know that might be interested in this type of information or this type of video, and subscribe. Yeah, that would be great. All right, I appreciate your viewership, and I'll be back with another video soon. All right, be well and take care.